Hi. Hi, Leo. Welcome to March. My name is Flo with Flo and the Moon, and I am doing your tarot forecast for the month of March 2020. Yes. So, welcome back if you are returning. Welcome, welcome if you're brand new. So, I am a tarot reader. I'm also an intuitive. And I'm just lighting up some Palo Santo to clear the energies because I've done a few different readings already today. So I just want to start with a clean slate and clear all that stuff out from the last one so there's no bleed through. All right, so this is a general reading. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't, because this is a group reading. Obviously, it's hard to focus on everything, right? So again, because it's for the collective, is going to be really general. If you would like something a little bit more in depth, then you can contact me and I would be more than happy to do a personalized reading for you. All right, I just needed a bit of tea as a pick-me-up. Also, cross-watchers, welcome. You can, if you're watching on behalf of somebody else, yes, by all means, you can definitely do that. I'm going to be doing stuff a little bit different today. So, my dreams have always been quite prophetic, and I've been called to share these with you. And obviously, I'm not going to share all my dreams with you, but last night I went to bed fully knowing which signs I'd be doing readings for today, and there was somebody who represented that sign in the dream. So I'll be talking about sort of the general energies of that affecting you for the month of March, but also specifically to your sign. You know, how would some of that manifest? Okay, so if it doesn't make sense to you, then obviously you weren't meant to read it or hear it. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead. So the first part of my dream, there was a man or somebody, I can't remember if it was a man or woman or whatever, but it was somebody holding a wheel, and on this wheel there were they were like the shape of a flame, but it wasn't a flame, like they were solid. So on this wheel were those flame pieces, and each of those flame pieces had a color assigned to it. And excuse me, I realized that each of those pieces, the colors represented our chakras. So there was one for red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, and indigo. And this wheel was getting spun. So I took that as a message about how important it is to keep our chakras aligned, and it's going to be even more so in the coming month. When I'm recording this, obviously there is a lot of Pisces energy happening right now because of the retrograde, and we are in Pisces season, and it's going to go on until the end, towards the end of the month when Aries kicks in. But until then, a lot of these energies are still going to be very relevant, right? So it's very important to keep your chakras aligned. Whatever practice that you use to do that is really important. So do some meditation. You can get some alignment done. Go for Reiki. Do yoga. Any of these spiritual practices really help to do things like that. Even, you know, sort of being aware of, even if you're not terribly spiritual, because you don't have to, you still have those those energy centers in you, so it is still important to keep them balanced. So you know, the lower chakras always have to do with sort of the material realm, and it's quite dense down there. The higher chakras are when you get into the more spiritual realm, and the heart is the harmonizer of both. So if you're more focused on the material, like money, work, desires, you know, that kind of thing, that all plays into our lower chakras, and you're not really focusing up here, you know, truth, wisdom, foresight, sort of like higher thinking. The key is always the heart. You need to work up to the heart, and that's going to harmonize everything. And the same thing, if you're a spiritual person and you're kind of like hanging out in the ethers, as great as it is, as your third eye is so strong and opening, it's so important to stay grounded and do things that you need to do in your human body. Get out and exercise, get that energy moving, you know, things like that. So just bear that in mind. The wheel was spinning, so I took that as it needs to be spinning smoothly. All of these chakras need to be aligned, and each of these centers needs to be working cohesively. Okay? Next, I guess there's a bit of background information. So there was a group of us in a hotel, and we went out to get a meal, and we ended up leaving early because the meal was we had to check out or something, and it was time to check out and the meal wasn't coming. So I kind of took that as maybe we were a bit impatient, maybe the timing wasn't right. Okay, and we'll start to see all that stuff coming through in your reading. And then specifically for Leo, one of the Leos had taken out an exercise bike. I don't know why, but they took out this exercise bike and were like put a note on it. But this exercise, obviously with an exercise bike, it's stationary. And Leo, you're fire. You want to get going. You want things done now. And with the exercise bike, you've got all that energy and you're kind of expending that energy, but you're not actually going anywhere. And that's sort of the theme of the month, right? Because this is retrograde season as well. It's still happening for the first bit of March. It's still really relevant, but also, you know, the Pisces energy is like that. It's not really an action sign. So you have to wait. You may as well just preserve your energy until if you want to get going on a specific project, preserve your energy until the later half of the month when things start to waken up a bit and we're out of the Pisces energy. But the Pisces energy is great. And the thing about the Pisces energy is that it allows a lot of introspection. And this goes to another part of that dream where I was in a lift or elevator with two Leos, and it was spinning. It was spinning like this. But the weird thing was, as like crazy as it was, nobody was panicking. So I kind of took that as, you will feel like you're being shaken up. You will feel like you're being shaken up and things are out of control. But as long as you keep your cool, then everything is going to be fine. You know, you might find this watery energy a little bit too heavy for you and a little bit too emotional for you. But the whole reason why we go through these different cycles is so we can connect back to ourselves. And also another thing was really important to note, that in the dream it was a blue hotel. So everything was blue. The floors, the walls, the ceiling, the furniture, everything was blue. And even in the elevator, there was a point when there was water coming into it, and in like throughout the hotel there were puddles of water, which is telling me that this is happening during Pisces season. And because it's Pisces season is still so strong right now, it's going to be a major factor within March 2020, right? Cool. So let's move on. Let's do your tarot reading and see how the rest of your energies, how this is going to play out, how do those energies sort of play out within your day-to-day life. Ooh, 3 cards. Card number 1, the Hermit, reversed. You may have been like in seclusion a lot. Ooh, the Hanged Man. Yeah, I guess so. You know, you've been in seclusion trying to get a different perspective on things. 9 of Pentacles reversed. You may have some issues revolving around money. That one wants to come out. And then, so this is sort of the first part of the month, the Hermit, the Hanged Man, and the 9 of Pentacles. And then we're getting into the second part of the month. I say the second part, but it depends. Like it's all gonna vary on everybody. Like the first bit could have already happened. You could be going through that right now, or you could be going through this right now, where everything just seems to be moving really quickly, and you're getting a lot of momentum moving forward. The Fool reverse, that goes with your overall energy. So this is almost a bit of a warning not to get too ahead of yourself, which goes with what I dreamt about. You know, the stationary bike, you kind of like expend all this energy, but you're not moving anywhere. So the Fool in reverse is all about being foolish, whereas in its upright, it's like free will and things are going well and you won't fall. But in its reverse, it's about being a bit more cautious and don't make any foolish decisions. Okay. Next. Oop, that's way too many. One wants to come out. Knight of Wands. Yeah, there we are. Fire. You want to get moving. And he's like the quickest moving knight in the deck. And he wants things fast. Actually, maybe the Swords is quicker. But he wants things done fast. And it's interesting because you've got the Eight of Wands, the Knight of Wands, and then in the middle of the Fool reversed. So that's telling me is like you've got all this energy around you. You want to get shit done, but it could lead to you making a foolish mistake, right? So just bear that in mind. Bear that in mind. Okay. Ooh, Two of Cups. That's where you're headed. You could have love on your mind towards the end of the month. There we go. Five of Cups. This card has come up a lot. And you know what I'm thinking? It could be a lot to do with the Pisces energy. Because when we go into our psyche, you have to do a lot of forgiveness. Notice there's a little bit of water there. So water is under the bridge. It's time to forgive and move on. When you are doing some inner work, as a lot of this retrograde Pisces energy is about. It's about the psyche. It's about going within. It's about intuition, you know, that kind of thing. You will have to do a certain amount of forgiveness and grieving for everything that you've lost or gone past. And Judgment reverse, that's the last card. So like maybe you're not listening to a calling that you've had. Maybe you've had some sort of realization, but you're not quite ready to accept it yet. And the bottom of the deck, this came up for Cancer actually, in the same spot. So that's the Four of Cups upright. So again, you know, it's almost like there's a lot of focus on what you don't have. And that's what the Four of Cups, the empty, right? You focus on what you don't have when you're actually not seeing what you do have. We get really caught up in the negative of things when failing to see the bigger picture. Well, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana. So this is, you know, it's a pretty important month, I would say, for you. You want to get going. I bet you can't wait till Aries season comes up. Okay, so what's the Hermit? Let's get some information on the Hermit. Ooh. Maybe a truth came out. There was somebody not being quite so honest with you, causing you some loneliness and causing you to withdraw. And you got that with the Five of Cups. So it's like this energy is really strong throughout the month. You know, maybe you're still grieving something that happened. Okay, what's the Hanged Man? What is the Hanged Man? Take the top. You've got some bickering. Nothing major. Just hiccups and maybe disagreements. Let's see. What is the Hanged Man? Maybe it could even be internal. You could be arguing with yourself if you're not arguing with someone else. Oh, jeez, everything fell. I can't actually pick that, can I? one that came up at the top is that. So there could be a little bit of immature behavior. Somebody's feeling really hurt. It might not be immature, but somebody is quite hurt. Causing you to withdraw. Could be, maybe you're the one that's hurt, or maybe you caused somebody some hurt, but somebody around, and they're quite young. You know, they could be somebody younger than you, or you're the young one. Okay, what's the Nine of Pentacles? Two of Swords. Just feeling stuck. You know, whatever happened, it's sort of caused a little bit of issues around money, and now you're feeling a bit stuck. Not even have to be money, but it's just, it could be your material world, right? So what's the Eight of Wands? Okay, so the Eight of Wands, we've got also the Nine of Pentacles again. So this has to do with the home and it's something that you've built up. Yeah, and the Four of Wands. So I get the vibe that you want to move forward with something having to do with the home, but there's been some delays around money. Maybe you're moving. Are you moving? Or maybe your house is not, maybe it needs more money than what maybe you're working on a house on like refurbishment or something, and it's requiring a lot more money than you allotted for it, you know? But you want to get moving on it. You want to get moving on that decoration for the spring. Yeah, it could be. You know what? You could want to do a bit of like, you could be wanting to do a bit of like upkeep with your home. And you want to get moving on that. It's going to cost a lot of money, but it's just the universe is kind of stepping in and saying, don't get ahead of yourself. Right? The Fool reversed. The Fool reversed is all about foolish behavior. So let's just get a bit of clarity on that. I think it's pretty self-explanatory in this, but let's just see what comes up. Yeah. It's all around money, right? Don't be foolish with it. You've got to hang on to it for now. Knight of Wands. Fire energy. That's you. Oh, everything is falling. Sorry. I've been dropping cards like crazy, Shay. Alright, cool. Knight of Wands. There we are. Justice. You could be working with law. You could be in law. You could be making a big decision. There could be even somebody at work around that vibe. But what about it? They seem to be younger, energetic, and sort of like in and around this whole money thing. So it could be you just wanting to get going, but you've got this, you've got to stay balanced, right? Otherwise you'll be caught unprepared. Seven of Wands reversed. Okay. Two of Cups. The Knight could even be a lover, right? Coming in, sweeping in. And you're trying to be cautious in all areas. Cautious with love, cautious with money, cautious with home. You know, don't blame you. Let's see what the Two of Wands is all about. And something fell. Okay, right. Yeah. So you need to pare it down a little bit and be cautious. This could be something that with this Two of Cups character, it could be something that could work out for you really well, but you need to be cautious. You need to be cautious, but also he or she could be an air sign. Could be an air sign. So Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. Five of Cups. In order to move on, you're going to need to grieve. You're going to need to let something end. Ten of Swords. Let it end. Cut it out. Let's get another card for clarity. Yeah, keep a clear head about if this is actually something you want, because the Seven of Cups is all about illusion, right? So set your priorities straight. This month is all about illusions until things clear up towards the end of it, right? But because of all this energy, you need to really sort things out and slow down. Slow down. Impatience, right? Judgment. Let's see what the Judgment reversed is all about. Mother of Cups or Queen of Cups. Could be water energy. But you know what? I always see her as like someone who's really intuitive, kind, compassionate, loving. So coupled with the Judgment card in its reverse, I feel like she's got this message for you, but you're not quite listening, and you need to soften. You need to soften down that fiery energy of yours, because you haven't got a lot of cups here, but the cups, you have a few, you know, and these cups, they're all about, oh, and actually they're towards the end of the month, so it's looking like things are looking up for you in terms of love, but you need to like soften up in order for the abundance to come in. Slow down on matters at home. Don't make any silly mistakes. Do your grieving. You know, just figure out, get some clarity on this and figure out what it is that you have in your life that's actually useful for you, or is it, you know, do you need to let go? Okay. Let's get a bit of advice for the month. But this is a good month. I mean, it seems like for everyone, it's going to be a little bit introspective, and I know it's really difficult for a lot of people to do that, but it happens for a reason. You need to stay balanced, and things need to balance out. If you've just been so focused outward, you know. Okay. Let's see. Knowledge. You are a wealth of knowledge, and it looks like you have some really great pearls of wisdom that you can pass on to others. So let's see if I missed anything in that. Knowledge is a gift that's meant to be shared with others. Most often this card comes to those who are teachers or those who facilitate the transference of information to others in some way. So you've definitely got some knowledge you can impart onto the collective. If you've been doubting yourself and your abilities, then it's time to let that go. Trust yourself and what it is you have to offer. As a tool of spirit, you are here to help raise the consciousness and awareness of the others on the planet. And this could be like, it doesn't even have to be, you don't have to be like a guru or messiah or anything like that. You could just, like if you know makeup really well, for example, you can pass on that knowledge to people who need that. Or if you know how to build things, you're really good with crafts, you can put some videos online about how to do something like that. You know, there's a lot of different ways that this can manifest. If you're a teacher, obviously there's always a lot of knowledge there. To doubt your knowledge is to doubt spirit. Trust what you have. Know you can do this. Spirit is backing you on this and encourage you to embrace the teacher you are born to be. So I think this is really good in terms of the rest of the reading, because this is teaching you empowerment. This is teaching you empowerment and giving you messages of empowerment about your own abilities and how you can help other people. And when you realize that in yourself, everything else sort of falls into place. You have the knowledge, you are worthy, you are a great person. This really positive way of thinking is going to filter through into all the areas of your life, and slowly everything is going to start to even out. Right. I think that was a lovely reading for you, Leo. Thank you so much for joining me. Please like, share, and subscribe so this video can circulate for other people. And also join me on Instagram, flow_and_the_moon, where I do daily tarot pulls, and you can see yours on there. So until next time, I will see you again. Much love. Bye.